Most of us walk on it every single day without even giving it a second thought. But today, we're going to change that. We're going to uncover the world beneath your feet with a guide to the amazing hobby of rock hunting. Just look at this. Have you ever seen anything like it? These are the incredible pillars of the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. Now, they look like they were carved by someone, right? But nope, they're a completely natural wonder, formed when lava cooled about 60 million years ago. It's just a stunning reminder of the geological secrets hiding right under our noses. And really, that leads us to the big question for this whole explainer. What secrets are hidden in the world beneath our feet? Come on, let's start digging for some answers. To really understand the stories that rocks can tell, we first have to learn their language. So we're going to start with the absolute fundamentals, the very building blocks of our planet.
So what even is a rock? Well, it's a lot more than just a hard thing you find on the ground. A typical rock is actually a mixture of solid chemicals called minerals, all pressed together so tightly like a bunch of intricate puzzle pieces.
Okay, so if rocks are made of minerals, what exactly is a mineral? Well, what's really interesting is that they are naturally occurring inorganic solids. And inorganic just means they weren't made by plants or animals. A perfect example? Think about the shiny little greens in sand. That's the mineral quartz. And minerals, in turn, are usually made of crystals. Their signature feature is that regular geometric shape, which comes from this super orderly arrangement of atoms inside. That's why they often look so shiny and glassy. Even in rocks where you can't see them, trust me, thousands of tiny crystals are in there. And finally, let's talk about fossils. I mean, these are the ultimate time capsules, the rock-hard remains of a living thing. What happens is, over millions of years, minerals replace all the organic material, turning bone or shell or even wood into solid stone, preserving this perfect snapshot of ancient life. Just take a look at this fossilized Tyrannosaurus skull. You're not just looking at a rock. You're literally reading a story written in stone. It's a direct link to a world that disappeared millions of years before humans ever existed. It's just incredible. All right, so now that we have the basic vocabulary down, we can get to the main characters in our story, Earth's 3 rock families and the epic planet-wide cycle that connects them all. First up, igneous rocks. And yeah, they are literally born from fire. When molten rock, which we call magma, cools slowly way down underground, it forms big crystals, creating rocks like granite. But when that very same molten rock erupts from a volcano as lava and cools super quickly, it forms rocks with tiny little crystals, like basalt. Next, we have sedimentary rocks. These are built from layers of sand, mud, and even the remains of tiny living things. Over millions of years, the weight from all the stuff piling on top compresses these layers, and minerals seeping through basically glue the particles together. These beautiful bands you see in the sandstone, they're called strata, and each one is like a different page in Earth's history book. Our third family is metamorphic, which just means to change form. See, these rocks start out as something else, maybe igneous or sedimentary, and then they get totally transformed. Deep underground, intense heat and pressure kind of cook and squeeze them, which causes the minerals inside to recrystallize into new forms. Those awesome wavy patterns are the telltale sign of this incredible transformation. And here's where it all comes together. The rock cycle. These 3 types aren't totally separate. They're constantly changing into one another. It's this continuous, planet-wide process of destruction and renewal, all driven by the massive forces of plate tectonics. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so now that you understand the epic story that rocks tell, you might be wondering how you can start reading those stories for yourself. Good. This section is your guide to becoming a rock hound, how to do it safely, and what you're going to need for the journey. First things first, safety and gear. You'll definitely want some sturdy boots for rough ground, and a hard hat and goggles are a must in places like quarries or near cliffs. But the single most important piece of equipment? An adult companion. Seriously, never go rock hunting alone. Okay, so where do you actually look? Well, there are 2 main types of sites. You've got outcrops, like cliffs, where the deep bedrock is exposed, and then you have deposits, which are places where loose stones gather, like on beaches and in riverbeds. Both are fantastic hunting grounds for discovering something new. So once you've found some treasures, the real fun begins. Let's talk about how you can turn your finds from just a pocket full of rocks into your very own personal museum. First up, you'll want to clean your treasures properly. Start by gently brushing off any loose dirt. Then, a good wash in some warm, soapy water should do the trick. Once they're completely dry, take a look with a magnifying glass. You will be amazed at the hidden details, the different grains, and the tiny crystals you can suddenly see. Now, this next step is absolutely crucial. A rock without its story is really just a rock. Put a little dab of correcting fluid on the bottom and give each specimen a unique number. Then, on an index card, write down that number, what you think the rock is, and exactly where you found it. This is what turns a simple pile of stones into a true scientific collection.
All right, for our final section, let's zoom out a little and see why all of this matters so much. Because rocks don't just tell Earth's story, they tell our story too. I mean, since the very dawn of civilization, we've built our greatest structures from stone. The Great Pyramids are made of limestone that's packed with ancient sea fossils. The people who built Stonehenge dragged massive dolerite stones over 150 miles. These aren't just feats of engineering, they are monuments built from a deep understanding of geology itself. Or how about the Taj Mahal? It's not just a building, it's a breathtaking work of art made from the earth. The entire structure is made of brilliant white marble. That's a metamorphic rock, and it's intricately inlaid with 28 different types of precious stones. It's just a perfect testament to how we've always used rocks to express beauty, power, and devotion. So, the key takeaway here is this. From a simple pebble you find on the beach to the bedrock beneath a skyscraper, every single rock has a history. The world beneath your feet is like a vast library, filled with stories millions of years in the making, just waiting to be read. The only question is, what will you discover?